I think. If it's working like it's supposed to. You guys getting that behind the scenes shit if you tuned in. Yeah, we are live. I just checked the Facebook page. We are up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locker Room Talk Uncut. Drew Garrison, Chad Penrod. It's been a while, man. We're back. We are back. So
a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I was dealing with shit. My dad was in the hospital. Everything's going on. So we've been running around a little while. We've been out since I think around the Super Bowl.
Didn't you get COVID?
I did not get COVID. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately.
I was giving you an excuse.
Fortunately, no, I didn't. You know, Dad was in the hospital. Wasn't much going on in the sports world. We just had shit going on. But we are back now. Lots to talk about with the free agency kicking off. Honestly, Bill Belichick just said, "Fuck it, I want everybody."
That doesn't seem like the Patriot way, does it?
Not at all.
So what do you think about that, man? What do you think about
$137.5 million in guarantees came out within 24 hours of good old Bill Belichick. Just I want everybody. I want Hunter Henry. I want Jonnu Smith. I want anybody and everybody.
Ends, didn't he?
Yeah, just all of them. So he went in and he got pretty much everybody that he wanted, and they're loading up. They're giving Cam weapons. They brought Cam back 1 year, $14 million. I think it could be up to $14 million if
that's the interesting part for me when it comes to the Patriots is the quarterback's not there yet. What are you going to do? You're sticking with Cam Newton, who can't throw the ball. But what I'm noticing with the Patriots there is, they get Jonnu Smith and they get Hunter Henry. And they have the backs there with Harris and Michelle. I think they're picking up on some of this Kubiak, Stefanski.
It's 12 personnel.
Shanahan, 12 personnel, and they're just going to say, hey, we're going to run the ball. We're going to dare you to stop the run, and then we're going to play defense because they're getting a lot of defensive weapons back too.
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people I think may forget is they had a lot of the COVID opt-outs.
Yeah, they had a ton.
That are coming back. A lot of people didn't, it seemed like they just think all those guys just left. That's not really how it went down. They're coming back. So he's loading up. I think, Brady won a Super Bowl away from New England, and everybody's saying, the Patriots are dead. Belichick's done. And Belichick said, day one, legal tampering, fuck you. I'm not dead. Let's rock. And he's rolling with it, dude. And I don't know. I think they might hang out a little bit there with the old the Bills now. The Bills are like, hey, man, the big bad wolf's gone. We got our, and then Belichick said, fuck you, here's a whole bunch of money.
I don't like it. I don't like what they've done.
Really?
It's because this never works. It never works to go out here and spend a fuck ton of money, the way that he's done it. It's never worked in the past. So I'm interested to see on, if there's a coach that, can get all the egos under control and whatnot. You see what you do with Cam. I'm surprised Cam resigned there.
I was too. I was a little bit surprised, but how many other suitors was he expected to have?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Patriots need to somehow find their way up in the draft and find their future quarterback, because right now it's looking like Tom Brady was the reason all this happened.
Is Tom Brady the Patriot way?
Right.
I think is the question.
I think he might be. Look what he did with the Bucs. Now I know the Bucs were loaded and they had a good defense and all that. It's like the movie where he fucking, what is it? He's got fucking gold sperm or fucking gold dick.
Oh, Ted too. They're trying to get into his house to jerk him off.
Yeah. I think
age warning.
I think Tom Brady, might be the reason behind it all, man. But I don't think that takes away from Belichick. I do think that because good coaches find a way to take out best players, and Belichick can do that.
He'll take away your best guy.
I don't see the reasoning behind signing Cam with all the other moves that was made. That Cam's done.
I think it's lack of better options, right? Who else is out there for him to go get?
In that offense, you would think
was there?
Andy Dalton could exactly maybe Fitzpatrick for to fit in for a year, because he balled out last year. But what about Andy Dalton? What about
Chirac, dude. He's a Chicago Bear. We got some listeners already in. Tim Combs, Dolphins fan, said, fuck the Patriots. That's par for the course.
Yeah. I'm sick of watching them win, too.
Josh Collier from Black Sheep said Louis Riddick pointed out earlier that teams who spent the most in free agency saw at least a +3 win increase. So,
oh, really?
Maybe the Pats have 7 last year, so I'd get them up to 10, maybe 10, 11. So I thought it was the other
Josh,
way.
I tend to look back to everything the Browns do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, fuck. And we were bringing that up. You know, I know you want to talk about the Bengals here in a second. Like, when we start talking about spending, and I started thinking about all the like spending that the Browns have done in the past. Dude, and the first names that come to my mind is like Dwayne Bowe.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Dwayne Bowe.
Didn't he just get high the whole time after he signed?
Dude, he was terrible at Cleveland. Paul Kruger.
Paul Kruger. Oh, you had the Kruger. I had to wear the Kruger jersey one time after a jersey bet.
Yeah. It's just we've made a lot of bad signings, you know what I mean?
It has happened. Cody Gray from Caveman Media says, I hope Burrow is conditioning this offseason, going to be running for his life next year. So
can I hit on this real quick?
Let's do it.
Let's jump into what they want to hear. They want to hear that, you know, the Browns, the Bengals. Listen, let me start off by saying I think Burrow's going to be a damn good quarterback.
If he's alive.
If he can stay alive behind that line that they haven't touched. I'm thinking that Burrow is a little overrated right now, man. He's played 10 games, and I hear in all these sports analysis and shit talking, just praising this guy like he's fucking Tom Brady already. I don't get it. Now I do think Joe Burrow is going to be a damn good quarterback. I've told you that. I think he can be better than Baker. I think he can be better than a lot of quarterbacks. The potential's there, but he hasn't done anything yet to prove that.
Jake did not like that comment already. He said, Chad, all caps. I think he's telling you to back off his boy. I don't know. But
I'm not saying Joe Burrow is bad. He just hasn't done anything in 10 games.
He has kind of been like labeled as Jesus reincarnated on Bengals Twitter. And
but no, it's not even it's not even Bengals Twitter. It's not even Bengals Twitter.
He gets a lot of love from the media. Don't get me wrong.
He does. And he's the second coming. I don't see it yet. It could be there. I just don't see it yet.
Well, so I guess I got to address this Joe Tooney shit, right? Because
I mean, did you lose all credibility yet?
Dude, after Tooney didn't sign, I posted messages of me and his sister. It got like 200 retweets in 10 minutes. I shouldn't have deleted it. I fucked up my moment, first off.
You did. Now everyone thinks you're a fraud.
Well, I didn't
ruin the podcast.
No, I got 100 followers after he didn't sign. My followers went up.
No, you were right though. I mean, you weren't wrong about Joe Tooney. It sounded like he wanted to come here. Come here. It sounded like he wanted to go to Cincinnati, but you can't lowball these guys, man. So
the reason I deleted the tweet, and it got screenshotted everywhere. There's like verified accounts tweeting it and shit. So now I'm just like, well, I should have just left.
I've seen that. I seen you a blue check mark.
Yeah, so I should have just left it on there. I guess I thought I should have cropped her picture out, but whatever. But the fact of the matter is, I wasn't wrong. You know, I don't feel like I could lose any credibility because I said money's right. He comes home. She tells me the day of legal tampering. She says, hey, we wanted it to be the Bengals. He wanted it to be the Bengals. They lowballed him. And I said, well, that's what I was afraid of. And she said, us too. So that's what it was. I was legitimately talking to this woman, and the worst came to fruition. And they fucking fooled us with this new day, new stripes bullshit. And it's the same shit. We haven't touched the offensive line. Like the signings they've made, they're all right. But we haven't touched the fucking one thing that was the biggest goddamn problem of ever.
I like the signings. I really like Hilton.
Pittsburgh doesn't like him leaving, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, no, that's a good signing. I really like the Dallas cornerback. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name.
Chidobe Awuzie, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, so I do like the signings. Oh, I like Hendrickson, but you should have kept Carl Lawson.
They tried to. Carl
Lawson is better, and then he kind of signs for the same money. I guess Lawson got more.
He got more guaranteed, money. And this Hendrickson deal, actually, I've been looking more into it. They can get out of it after this season and lose almost nothing. So I think Lawson wanted the guarantees, and Hendrickson, for whatever reason, took the 1 year drop of cash. And
the thing with Hendrickson is, how good is he going to be? And I'm not taking anything away from Sam Hubbard. I really like Sam Hubbard. How good is he going to be being the main pass rusher? Whereas in New Orleans, he had Cam Jordan So I like Hendrickson.
Yeah.
The question for him is, does he need somebody else? Does he need the one-on-ones? Cam Jordan was getting the doubles,
Right.
and he would get the one-on-ones, and he was able to win. What do you have, like 14 sacks?
13 and a half last year.
Yeah, I mean, so he had a great season, but that's my question mark with him. But I like him.
And Hendrickson had Cam Jordan. He also had a great secondary back there. Now, I think the Bengals secondary should be good. Everybody stays healthy. We're good. But Hubbard, I just think he's best in a rotation. Like, I think he's best in a rotational role. He's good against the run.
Well, that's what Hendrickson was, though. He was in a lot of the rotation there.
Yeah, so I think we have to address another edge rusher.
Yeah. I don't think you can ever have too many pass rushers.
Yeah, ever. And that's just that's just the name of the game. And Josh Collier says Hendrickson is a great deal money-wise, and it is.
Yeah.
It's just maybe Lawson.
I just like Lawson. I think he was like, what do you have, top 10 pressures last year. I didn't realize how good he was until I looked at the stats.
Well,
I know he tore up fucking Villanueva, the Pittsburgh game. I mean, he ate his lunch.
That was his parting gift to us.
Yeah.
Was just,
and then I think he played really good against Washington. So he had a few games where you're like, holy shit, who's 58?
He never got a lot of snaps. Like he was in a rotation, but he was like always seemed.
But he always played weird, yeah. Because his rookie season, he was great.
Yeah, and then he tore the knee, and then you got maybe a year to bounce back from that. But I mean, I didn't expect. I thought he was more likely to come back than William Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I think for William Jackson, for what he got in a year, we got two guys for less that I think are pretty solid. So I'm good with that.
That's good. That's all well, but they're trying to blind you guys again. The offensive line.
Well, I'm not blinded at all.
Touched.
And they haven't done shit.
You have this savior, Joe Burrow, and if they don't protect this guy, he's going to be out in another 10 weeks.
Well, that's
repairing his other leg.
It's not like he was just on the field last year running for his life, and that's it. He got his fucking knee exploded.
Yeah. No, I mean he's at Paul Brown Stadium every day rehabbing.
So you didn't get the toonie, fine, which I think you fucked up, but you don't. I mean, you don't.
You have
do anything
to spend.
else. Rodney Hudson's gone.
You have to spend. Listen, the Browns have been bad for so many years. Like I was telling you at the beginning of this, they at least they spent the money. You have to, when you are a bad team, when you are a bad franchise, when you can't attract anybody, the one thing that is going to attract them is money.
Yeah.
It's like Jack Conklin last year. I'm sure he didn't want to go in the cold in Cleveland, but if Cleveland's offering him $10 million more, then how can you turn it down? I don't give a fuck if Joe Thuney would have cost you $100 million.
Do it.
Pay him.
I am completely in agreement with you. And Jake is saying we're not blinded. Everybody on Bengals Twitter is lighting them up, and that is true. I'm a Bengals Twitter guy now.
No, what I'm saying, Jake, is you can't be blinded by what they're doing. What they spend money on last year?
DJ Reader, Trey Waynes.
Which defense. Play on what side of the ball?
Yeah, defense.
Okay, what are they doing right now?
They're spending on defense, which the defense could have got better. But no, I am completely with you. And if you follow my Twitter at Drew_LRT, you'll see I was talking to people on there and I said, look, all this is cool, whatever, but I am ultra focused on offensive line. How can you be focused on anything but the offensive line? Mm-hmm. Okay, you didn't get Thuney, that's fine. But you haven't called Riley Reef. You haven't called Trey Turner. You haven't called, any of these other guys that are out.
They've not called them. But what we're saying is
nothing's done.
How are they not signed? Like these guys shouldn't even have you go and get two of these offensive linemen, and then you get Sewell in the draft. You have a whole fucking entire different offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean that's all you had to do. You have to spend the money. You have all this money. You have all the salary cap. Why are you still? I mean, I know the defense was bad too. But then your number one priority, we've been saying it for, it feels like 2 or 3 years now, is the offensive line. You have to protect Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and they haven't done it. And Tyler Rowland, he runs a Tic Tac Titans. He just had like a nice Titans player interview today. He's doing good things with his awesome Titans podcast. He said, how much do you think the Bengals being a poor franchise hurts them here? They can't beat out other teams with signing bonuses because they literally don't have the cash flow to give out that much up front. I don't know. I was talking to cap guys today.
Yeah, hold up though, but didn't the Bengals have like top fucking 7 or 8 cap space?
Yeah, but cap space and cash flow are different.
Yeah, but I mean, when you throw the money at them,
everybody gets the same amount from the TV deal, right? I mean, I understand, and I was talking. I can't remember his name on Twitter. I might have to look. He knows a lot about the cap, a lot more than I do.
That's a tricky situation because it seems like the cap doesn't even matter.
Well, and you got the teams like you have teams that have owners that are big businessmen already. So this is just one of their investments. Shad Khan, the Jags are one of his investments. He's got 10 other things bringing him a fuck ton of money one way or the other. Mike Brown, this is it. This is his only revenue stream.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he doesn't have the cash flow to do it, but I just feel like most NFL teams have enough cash reserve to do it. I think part of it is the CBA allowing them to keep some of it is fucking up because Mike Brown's like, oh, fuck it, I'll just keep it. But I think that the cash flow thing does have validity. I think that it is a real thing, but I don't know if it's as real. But obviously the Chiefs are going after it.
So I was just about to say.
And the Hunt family has their hands in 10 other things, so they do have more cash flow. And
you look at a team like the Chiefs, you're like, how the fuck could they afford $80 million?
No shit. They weren't even a thought.
No.
I don't think that they were a thought for any of these people.
You had to think something was up though when they started releasing all them offensive linemen.
Shout out to John Wick. I'm not sure who that is. That's a guy from a movie. But he said Andre Peralta is the cap guy I was talking to. That is absolutely accurate. But the Chiefs. So okay, we're gonna spend cash. We're gonna spend cash. What do you think makes that money back? Winning fucking Super Bowls, going to the fucking Super Bowl. So yeah, maybe the Bengals are a little bit cash poor, but I think that they have enough to compete. They just don't want to, and you can make that money back tenfold if you're a fucking good team.
It all comes down to spending the money. You have to spend the money. Like in my opinion, they shouldn't have been on the phone with anybody outside of Joe Thuney until they knew he was going to come. Because apparently he wanted to come.
His sister literally told me this.
This is where he wanted to be. We wanted him here, but they lowballed us. I would love to see that offer.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask because I was like, yeah,
I would love
not my fucking business.
No, she probably wouldn't give you that, but I would fucking love to see that offer.
I'm thinking like 40 million, like half. I don't know. Even that's high for a guard. I don't know what the offer was. I just don't understand how you can literally know that this guy wants to come. If his sister's telling random ass me this on Instagram,
yeah,
the Bengals knew.
Yeah,
it was out there. It's just I don't know, man. And everybody thought my credibility was shot, but it was actually kind of just verified.
No, yeah, because you said as long as the Bengals are willing to pay, and apparently they're not. Well, we know they're not. And then, but it seemed like they were in on both Carl Lawson and Trey Hendrickson, though. So which, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. But protect Joe Burrow.
It's like I don't know, man. It's just like if I'm at my house and my fucking water heater's out, and I come home and I see that you painted my living room. It's like, oh well, the living room looks pretty cool, but I don't have hot fucking water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you fixed something, but you didn't fix the main fucking problem. Like, has anybody forgotten what it looked like, dude? When Joe Burrow blew his knee out, I laughed. Not because I don't like Joe Burrow, I love Joe Burrow, but I was just like, holy shit, how could we not have seen this coming?
Yeah.
But it's like the Bengals don't remember the picture of Chase Young, like, giving him good wishes as he's just laying there with his leg fucking disassembled. And they're just like, oh, well, fuck it. Frank Pollock's back. It's cool. Like, did they hire Frank Pollock to play the offensive line?
And yeah, exactly. And then what do they think? This coach is going to come in and make Bobby Hart good?
Nobody will make Bobby Hart good.
I mean,
and fuck you if you're on Twitter coming to me. Well, look at Bobby Hart's PFF rating and look at this bar graph. I don't give a fuck, dude. I watched this guy play. He sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks.
You have to wonder though what the plan is. Like what is the plan here? Are they thinking that all right, we're just going to spend every dollar we have on defense, and then when the draft comes, we're going to take offensive line at 5, and then in the second round, third round, fourth. I mean,
hey, we just re-signed Tony Brown though, from what Jake says. Tyler Rowland said the only credibility that was lost on Thuney was the Bengals. Thank you, sir. He also said scared money don't make no money, and that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool,
You have to be
man.
willing to pay.
Nice defensive signings. You better hold everybody to 3 points a game and hope we can get in the field goal range twice. Because as of right now, and Gabe Jackson is a name I'm seeing in the comments.
No,
Go
Gabe
get
Jackson
him.
would be a good get.
Go get him. What are we waiting on?
Like I said, I like Spain there. I think ultimately Jonah has to get back to the right side. I don't think that he's going to be a left tackle in the league. I know he hasn't had a whole lot of time there, but I don't see him being one of the great left tackles.
That's another look at the PFF numbers, guy. Like I don't know, man. I like PFF. I'll use it for reference, but I just watch the fucking games.
Yeah, the eye test. It doesn't pass the eye test. Let's stay in the division though, man. Baltimore ends up getting Kevin Zeitler, who the Bengals should have been on.
They they lowballed him too.
Yeah, well, what did he get? He got $7 million. Why are you not offering him another eight or 9 million?
I don't remember what the guarantees were, but I mean, he's familiar. He's been here.
He's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
And Tyler Dragon is a Bengals reporter. He said the Bengals were in on it, but they couldn't or wouldn't.
You can't lowball these guys, man, especially at the start of free agency.
No shit.
The start of free agency, like when a team's offering them, hey, here's $75 million, and you come in with a $55 million, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't get it. Darkfire MCBE said, what is y'all's Facebook? It is Locker Room Talks Uncut on Facebook if you want to check in there. I'm reading comments from YouTube and Facebook here. But back to, yeah, I mean, so Gabe Jackson, Riley Reef, Dennis Kelly got cut from the Titans. There are guys out there. They're not going to be the top tier guys that everybody knows you should have gone after, but they are out there. So why is it that we are actually into the new league year now? It's 5/18. It's been open for an hour, and we still don't have a fucking offensive line deal. Call one of these guys and be like, "Yo, what does it take?"
Let me tug on your heart real quick.
Oh fuck.
Let me tug on your heart real quick. AJ Green.
Damn it, man! I tried to hang the
1
jersey
year,
up back here.
$8.5 million to the Arizona Cardinals.
Son of a bitch.
How do you feel? I mean,
Well,
I feel like AJ Green. So like, I have these jerseys hanging up in my house. So the 3 guys that I want are, is Jim Brown, Bernie Kosar, and Joe Thomas.
I got you a Kozar. It's on the way.
I know.
Charlie, you gotta send that shit. Where you at, man?
Joe and Joe Thomas though, he never been to a playoff game. He never.
Right.
But you know what I mean. He stuck through all the bad times because there was never any good times.
Not when Joe Thomas was in town. No.
There was never any good times, but he's one of the greatest left tackles to ever play the game. But I feel like AJ Green, that's kind of how you guys are with him. I noticed that you guys are close. That one hurt to see him go, but he had to. You couldn't pay him $15 million again. He's probably a shell of himself. We'll see how he goes. He's not the number 1 receiver anymore.
No.
He's gonna go to Arizona there with D-Hop, and man, they're loading up.
I mean, does Larry Fitzgerald stay there?
I mean, why not?
I don't know. Does he? I mean,
No,
they've been talking about him.
Fitzgerald will never play for another team, so it's either there or retirement.
Yeah. I don't think he would ever go anywhere else. But and I said this on Twitter earlier too. I'm giving away too much of my takes on there. People aren't going to listen to this shit. But AJ Green's effectively been gone for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. He had a jersey. He hung out on the sidelines. But AJ Green has effectively been gone from the Cincinnati Bengals for 2 years. I think that they should have traded him. We've talked about that quite a bit in here back when the value was the highest. But when it actually comes time, and I know that man is not going to wear stripes anymore, it stings a little bit, man. It does hurt. I got an AJ Green jersey hanging up over there. I tried to put another one up back here. I got like 3 more in the closet. It's a fan favorite for the last 10 years, man. That sucks. But like the Browns with Joe Thomas, I'm like, man, go somewhere where you can win. But now I'm fucked because I want AJ Green to win. I want him to do well. He's on JJ Watt's fucking team. I can't root for the Cardinals.
They're another team, loading up on a lot of the big names.
Still not better than Rams.
They're like I said though, when it came down to Joe Thomas there at the end of his career, I would have rather Joe Thomas get traded. Not be, I'm glad at the end of the day that he was only a Brown,
Right.
But I would have loved to seen him go win something.
Yeah,
at least have a chance to play in a fucking playoff game or win a playoff game or whatever it may be. Just because those are the guys that stuck out through through the longest and they deserve it.
AJ did catch what should have been the game winner of a playoff game, but yeah, then it got fucked up by Jeremy Hill and all those other guys. So I don't, that is a tough one though, man. I knew it was coming. I knew there was no way he was coming back. But once you know that AJ Green's not a Bengal anymore, you're like, damn.
So the New Year League has started. Isn't Geno like aren't the Bengals about to part ways with Geno?
Well, I think they should have already. That makes me wonder.
I thought there was something with his money that they had to wait till the start of the new league year.
June 1st, they can save an extra, I think, $3 million. If they cut him right now, I believe it's around $9 million.
Mm-hmm.
If they cut him after June 1st, I think it's about 12. But that's another thing. Like I know it's time for Geno to go. I've always really liked Geno. Maybe you just cut him now. Let him keep that $3 million and get somewhere early. Don't wait until June. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, June's
for a guy
away.
Well, the market's going to dry up.
Mm-hmm.
For a guy that's done so much for your franchise.
Geno catch on pretty much wherever he wants to go.
Dude, he was a shell of himself last year.
Well, what he get a play like 2 fucking plays a game?
Yeah, he had multiple games with like 12 snaps or less. And to the asshole on Twitter that told me that he played every snap, he said, "Well, I have season tickets, so I know you're a fucking moron." Dude, this Twitter shit, right?
Yeah, I told you.
These motherfuckers are crazy. And my favorite thing now is not blocking them; it's muting them. Muting them and not blocking them is better because they can still see that I'm just completely ignoring them. These people are fucking insane.
They are.
People, you thought a kid was trying to fight you?
Yeah.
I had somebody saying something to me, and I said, "How old are you, dude? Like 15?" And he replied, he said, "I'm 13, and I'll fuck you up." I was like, "Whoa, dude!"
So you're getting some info here, man. It says the Bengals just re-signed Tony Brown. You said that.
Yeah.
So
we got corners for days.
Brown? Oh, that's a corner.
He's a low-level corner. They re-signed Brandon Wilson, which is cool because he's a good kick returner. But
yeah, he's a really good kick returner.
Still, man,
Let's stay in the division. The Baltimore Ravens.
Judon?
Well, we said, they signed Zeitler, but they lose Judon and they use, how do you say, Yannick
Ngakoue
Ngakoue.
and Judon.
Yeah.
Fucking out of there.
So their pass rushers are now gone.
They got like Derek Wolf back and some other guy, but yeah, not nearly what they had.
Wolf is more of he can get after the quarterback a little bit, but he's more on the, stopping the
body. So that's good for the AFC North. He leaves. They're going to have a little bit less of the pass rush, but then who's Lamar going to throw the ball to still? Nobody.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything there. Wide receiver market's not looking good.
Steelers lose Mike Hilton.
Got him.
Who else have they lost?
Mike Hilton's gone. Bud Dupree to the Titans. I don't know if Tyler's still on here.
I was
Shout
going
out
to
to
say
Tyler.
that one. Tyler. That's just the one I'm not feeling, man. That's just the one I'm not feeling.
I think he was pretty hype about
it. But I say this, though. The Titans needed a pass rusher badly.
Yeah, Clowney wasn't
badly. No, well, they needed – but, man, Bud Dupree coming off a torn ACL, $14 million a year, not going to have J.J. Watt on the other side of him. I'm sorry, T.J. Watt on the other side of him.
Fuck them both.
I don't know. That is the one that I am not a big fan of. That is, in my opinion, one of the not so good signings.
I was surprised by it too, just off of that injury. I thought maybe he'd take like a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal, get himself right. But he cashed out now, so why wait? Yeah, but yeah, I was a little bit on that signing just because of the injury. But I do know that they needed it bad, and they cut Adoree Jackson, which was
he's actually being linked to the Brownies.
That's not good. I don't like hearing that at all.
Yeah.
But he's part of that class, and Njoku got guaranteed today. There was a class, I think, up to 2017 to where they could cancel your 5th-year option up until like right before the new league year.
Yeah.
Now, if they pick it up, they do that the season before. Now it's fully guaranteed. So yeah, he was one of the guys where they're like, we can cut him now, but then they replace him with Janoris Jenkins. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's any good. I don't know if that's as good.
Someone says, I feel like the Steelers played the easiest schedule. I don't know that it was so easy because I feel like the AFC North is always really tough. The Titans, as bad as the Titans' defense were, their offense was really good last year. I feel like what happened with Pittsburgh was they just ran out of gas. I feel like Ben Roethlisberger's not a 17-week quarterback. This is going to sound crazy, but I almost feel like if the Steelers can place themselves in the in the playoff hunt, like almost like you need to rest Ben more than one game. I feel like he's big, dude. You know how it is, dude. There was a bee on me once, dude, and it fucking stung me, and I fell off my porch. And I'm a big dude. You know how bad that hurt to fall? I mean, that fucking hurt.
Oh, dude,
So
yeah.
imagine that happening every fucking
Sunday,
Sunday.
like 5 times a game.
Yeah, and the
if not
offensive
more.
line is shit. They couldn't run the ball. But they've lost what? They lost Dupree. They
Yeah.
lost Hilton. Who else they lose?
Dupree's gone. Hilton's
They
gone.
lost that defensive tackle.
Alualu.
Yeah.
Tyson Alualu.
Juju hasn't signed anywhere yet. He can go to hell.
Sean O'Hara said the Bengals should sign Juju, and I said, "Fuck you, Sean O'Hara. I want no part of that fucking loser."
No, he's going to go somewhere and get overpaid.
Yeah.
The other fucking deal that I absolutely hate: Corey Davis to the Jets. Corey Davis goes missing more than
Yeah, he's not good.
the Titans fans on here can tell you. He goes fucking missing. I love AJ Brown. I mean, it's crazy that Corey Davis couldn't really even, step up there. And I mean, he had his moments. He had his moments. He could step up at times, but then there was, consistent games that he goes missing.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Titans have, they've lost what? They've lost some people too.
Yeah, they
lost Jonnu. They lost Corey Davis. They lost.
I don't think Corey Davis is that much of a loss. Though.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever,
he can be replaced. He can be replaced.
Yeah.
And Adoree. So.
Yeah, Adoree Jackson and Janoris Jenkins is solid, but I think Adoree Jackson's probably better to keep personally.
Absolutely.
And,
Adoree Jackson's fast as fuck.
Maybe the Titans fans know more about that than I do, but I personally think that. Darkfire MCBE, who are you? Do you have like your Twitter ad? I don't know who this is, but he says that Juju should eat my shit for all I care. So he's not a Juju fan.
Everybody in this room agrees. Fuck Juju. Yeah.
And he said Josh Collier said Titans still trash. Derrick Henry's still going to be running the rock. Then
they got to fix their defense.
Yeah, they got a lot to fix.
They were bad.
His Twitter's Abdul. I know who you are, man. Yeah, I talked to you on there a couple times. He wants Pittsburgh and Juju to eat shit. Yeah, so I know exactly who you are. So yes, there's been that, and then going over to the Cleveland Brownies, John Johnson, the safety, turned down less money to come to the land, as they call it.
That makes you feel good.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in Cincinnati.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
I would be honest with you. I thought it was like a Madden created player. I had no fucking idea who John Johnson was. But Twitter is like, dude, this dude is a fucking boss.
Kind of how you see Jesse Bates getting overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
In the AFC, that's kind of how he is.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about him.
As you know, the Rams had a fucking amazing defense last year. He was the play caller. He's one of the smartest safeties in the league. He's one of the one of the best cover safeties.
Okay.
It's a great signing. We needed all the secondary help we could get. So, the Browns are going to run that nickel safety shit, with 3 safeties, John Johnson, Ronnie Harris, and then Grant Delpit's back as well. So that's going to be interesting. I think that's why you don't see the Browns getting on linebackers too much here.
I guess that's what the Bengals are doing because I haven't heard anything about Sean Williams leaving.
And I posted this on Twitter too, man. So John Johnson, Jesse Bates, and Minkah Fitzpatrick all in the same division.
Yeah.
Hello, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Throw it now. We're going to spy your ass, throw the ball now. But at the same time, there's only 2 good pass rushers left in the division. That's TJ Watt, fuck him, and Myles Garrett.
And then speaking of pass rushing with the Browns, they get Takk McKinley. And
weird.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm fucking ecstatic about that. I think this is a low risk, high reward. It's a 1 year, $4 million. I don't know. The Browns should not be done at signing a pass rusher.
Well, and that's the same thing we said when the Bengals picked him up off waivers last year. Low risk, high reward.
Yeah.
I think he was a 2nd round pick, but then he failed like 3 or 4 physicals, and I think he landed with Oakland to finish it out. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
Low risk, high reward. Yeah, I mean, when you're the Browns and you're just looking for that extra piece, that extra boost for a playoff team, you don't have to make as aggressive.
If you can get 2018 Takk McKinley,
you're in there.
Yeah, I mean, yes. What did he say? Oh yeah, Jake said if he can pass his physical, yeah.
I'm hoping he has.
Like what, 4 or 5 of them?
It was bad last year.
Yeah, he must have had a bad injury. I'm not. I didn't really track it too much. I know the Browns put in. Every time he kept getting cut, the Browns would put in an offer.
Yeah, they were trying last year.
But they couldn't get him.
But I mean, like I said, you're not looking to retool anything or rehaul anything.
The Browns are playing this smart, man.
Yeah.
Good teams aren't going all out in free agency. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? They're getting piece. Like, you see the Chiefs, they got their linemen. You know, they're already good.
They went all out,
You know,
too.
We can't, as much as you guys might hate the Browns are good.
Smoking me
to
out,
the playoffs. Fucking, they're just, you know, they're a few defensive pieces away. Number one priority, though, they got to keep Rashard Higgins. Hollywood Higgins has to stay, and I think
He's a free agent?
Yeah. So I think this is playing out in the Browns' hands, though, because these wide receivers aren't seeing the money. Somebody tweeted out and said the GMs, they talked to a GM, and these wide receivers are wanting, you know, double digit.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's just not out there for them. So I think that a receiver like Higgins, I think it's playing into their hands. So hopefully he's back, you know, maybe a 1 year, 2 year deal for the low.
Maybe Hollywood Higgins hits I-70 South, comes down Cincinnati. We got the Higgins boys.
I was hoping, you guys are going to laugh.
We got the
I was
Higgins
kind of
boys.
hoping the Browns would have fucking got John Ross and said, hey, all we need you to do, run deep.
Yeah, he'll do that, but about 10 yards downfield, his fucking hamstring comes right off the bone.
For $2 million, why was the Chiefs not on that?
Dude, Hardman, Tyreek Hill, John Ross, just
It makes too much sense.
that's like unfair. How do you keep up with that? I said the
He
Chiefs
was
are
playing
keep
good
winning.
at the beginning of the year.
He always did, and then something. I don't know. It was just never
He's
good.
injured a lot.
It was never good. He came in, Marvin Lewis put him in his rookie year, gave him a reverse. He fumbled it, and he fucking pulled him for like 4 games.
No, dude, honestly, I mean, he went a pick before Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean?
God damn it, man! I know. Why do you have to bring it up? I know.
It happened. I don't think no one expected Pat Mahomes to be what he is.
I sure as hell didn't. I mean, somebody did though, because the Chiefs moved up for him. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ross, see you later, man. You know, we gave you money for 4 years, and that's about. But the thing is, he had that 1 year where he had like 7, 8 touchdowns, and it's like that seemed like all he caught was touchdowns.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Abdullah misses Marvin Lewis. Sometimes I think I might too.
I don't think Marvin was the problem.
I said it on Twitter. I said maybe Marvin wasn't the problem,
No,
man.
but as an outsider looking in, it took me out until last year to finally realize that Mike Brown is the sole problem of the Bengals.
It starts at the top, man. He's the root of the problem.
He just – how do you explain this to you fans? Like, how the fuck do you not protect Joe Burrow? Like,
And Abdullah here makes a good point. He said, I get it. He hadn't won a playoff game, but he turned the Bengals around. And you'll look at TJ Hushmanzada, friend of the show, made us a shout-out video. Everybody's like, oh, you paid for that. Well, fuck yeah, I did. He said, you know, when I got to Cincinnati, he said, you didn't stay at the hotel the night before the game. Guys would just come in from home or the bar. People are all fucked up. He's like, Marvin really changed that. He said when he was a rookie, Willie Anderson and some of the linemen bought jock straps for the rookies because the Bengals would just dump a bin of jock straps out like, hey, these are used, figure it out. So Marvin Lewis had a lot to do with that transition. And then, you know, 16 years, no playoff wins, you probably deserve to get fired.
yeah,
But-
no, I mean, it was time.
But I just think, you know, we all wanted this change. I was the biggest get rid of Marvin guy on the fucking planet, you know, all over the internet. And now it's Mike Brown's like, well, you wanted something different. Here's what you got. And we're like, oh, shit. And I'm hearing that, you know, the front office is willing to give Zach Taylor whatever he wants. So it's like, is this motherfucker really okay with this line? If they're going to give him whatever he wants, why wouldn't you say, okay, Joe Tooney, we'll give you $85 million.
Right.
$16 million a year, 16.5 per year, whatever. You know, I don't know. I went to West Carolina. I don't know fucking math. Either way. So what's the difference?
Yeah. No, you're right. They got to figure it out. You know, the Bengals got to figure it out. I feel like I said, an outsider looking in, this isn't just to keep, you know, dogging on the Bengals. It's just like, it's like he or they just don't get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to do certain things when you're a bad team. You just can't say, hey, come play in Cincinnati.
The Browns did it. They made Kevin Zeitler the highest paid offensive lineman ever at the time. Was he necessarily worth that? Probably not. He was good, but was he worth highest paid offensive lineman ever? No. But Cleveland said, hey, man, that's what we got to do to get guys to come here. And I know that he's no longer there, but the Browns, used that method. They drafted well. They paid Jack Conklin, and now they have the best line in football, I think, for pass blocking and run blocking. If I'm not
the Browns
mistaken.
at least top 5. I mean, a lot of people say the best. I think PFF had them graded best. Definitely a top 5 line. Yeah, I mean,
worked.
that's what like you said with Conklin. You know, you have to overpay. You It's Cincinnati. It's Cleveland.
Charlie Reagan, here he is. Hey, man, where's that Kozar jersey? It's going to his house. It's going in his basement. Send that shit over.
Send it.
So Jake asked, next move you want to see for the Bengals and the Browns. What do you want to see next for the Browns, if anything, I guess?
No, I really like a Dory Jackson. I really would like to see a Dory Jackson there. And I kind of hope they're not done with pass rusher. Melvin Ingram would be nice.
Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin Ingram would be solid, I think. Olivier Vernon started coming out at the end of the year. Then he got that injury. He's not even be ready to go at the beginning of the season.
That Achilles is a motherfucker, dude.
You know, so I would like to see him add to the defensive line. We do get Andrew Billings back. We're going to lose Larry Ogunjobi.
I wouldn't mind Larry Ogunjobi coming down to Cincinnati either.
He's just inconsistent.
Little rotation guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's games where he's the best player on the field, and there's games that he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
But we get Andrew Billings back. You guys know all about Andrew Billings. Really good against the rush.
Good run stopper.
The one that tugged on, I ain't gonna lie, tugged on my heart a little bit, man. Money Mitch.
T. Mitch.
Terrence Mitchell, the Browns. He was there for 3 years. I think we got him from Kansas City. He just did what he was supposed to do, man. He was always on the field. He was always usually that number 2 corner. I hate to see him go, but love to see him go get the money out in Houston. So I think that the Browns let him go so they can address that second corner. I think it's going to be I think you're going to see an Adoree Jackson. I don't know how much money, Patrick Peterson's looking for, but there's a lot of LSU boys
Pat
there.
Peterson, man. I forgot about that.
So that's going to be interesting. The Browns are the secondary is obviously a corner away because then you get Greedy back. MJ Stewart was awesome. Then you've got them 3 safeties, and then of course you got Denzel Ward.
But you said you don't really want to rely on Greedy right now because poor guy can't get on the field. I think he'll be damn good, but poor guy can't
at the end of the first year, he was looking good, but he didn't play at all last year due to a nerve in his shoulder.
Yeah, something never got right.
It's weird, but yeah. So I would like to see a consistent guy over there. Whoever it is that they want to get. Linebackers, I'm not sure what they're going to do there. Definitely want to see more pass rushers, and then we need a speedster at wide receiver. The offense is pretty much set. The tight ends are there. The entire offense.
You're going to hand that motherfucker to 24.
Yeah.
You're going to put in 27 for a change of pace.
Obviously get Rashard Higgins back. I would like to see like a Brashawn Perriman.
You've been saying that for a while.
Brashawn, he was just really good with Baker.
So him or Higgins?
I think you get both of them.
I
think you can get them both.
4 wide, cheap. Spread it out. So
no, fuck 4 wide. We don't play that shit no more. we got a 2-headed monster back there. We got to give them the ball and set up the play action. That's how it's done. But yeah, you got to stay on the defensive side. So Jake, my one biggest right now would probably be Adoree Jackson.
Mine is fucking anybody on the offensive line. I mean, honestly, I think it's Gabe Jackson now. Trey Turner, maybe Trey Turner had a rough year last year.
I would like to see and I've been saying this since last year. I would like to see the Bengals poke the Eagles and see what's up with Zach Ertz.
My problem with Zach Ertz is I would love him on the Bengals, but not at an $8.5 million contract. Yeah. That's the only problem I have. If he would restructure, rework his deal, go ahead and get that. But first and foremost, sign some fucking linemen. I'm sorry. People on Twitter said I was a bad person for this. I got fucking shit on when I said I will never forgive Mike Jordan for getting blown up and having the guy go into Burrow's leg. And people are like, he's trying his best. He didn't do it on purpose. Well, no shit. I still don't want that motherfucker ever starting a game that Joe Burrow's on the field for ever again in my fucking life. Like, I don't care. I don't think he did it to be an asshole. Like, no shit. They played at college together. Like, so Gabe Jackson, Trey Turner, Riley Reef, Dennis Kelly, all these guys that I've talked about, any of them is an upgrade over what we have. Why is Bobby Hart on the fucking team?
They're going to have to sign 1 or 2 of these guys.
Why is Bobby Hart on the team? And there's been all this talk, well, the draft is so deep and they're so deep in offensive linemen. That's great. I don't want to rely on a rookie next year.
No shit. These kids are just coming out of college.
I don't want to rely on 3 rookies next year.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, is Trey Hopson back at center? Is he going to be back from the knee injury? I don't know. If he is, I'm okay with it. He can also play guard. I'm cool with Spain.
I like Spain.
Jonah Williams is going to be in there whether or not. So two more, maybe. Yeah, but still, I don't want those to be rookies. It should not be Fred Johnson. Hakeem Adeniji had like 1 good game, and everybody's like, "Oh, there's a tackle." No, that's not it. He was a 6th rounder from Kansas for a reason. That's not it. So go get these guys. And if you do get some offensive linemen and you want to kind of, spice me up a little bit, what about Curtis Samuel? If you go ahead and address your line as best you can as of right now, I guess, and you're assuming you're drafting Sewell and maybe the Quinnen Miners guy that follows, I like him a lot. Curtis Samuel wouldn't make me mad either.
I don't like that. I don't like it. You got Tyler Boyd there.
Yeah, Boyd on the slot, Samuel on the outside, fucking Higgins on the outside.
I think because Samuel's gonna want probably $10 million minimum.
Well, we probably won't fucking pay that.
I don't like it. But I've been saying this. I don't think the Bengals are bad at the wide receiver spot.
It's not very good behind Boyd and Higgins though.
Yeah, but this is where you get in the draft you can get, like Donovan Peoples-Jones went in the 6th round.
I want Nico Collins come Cincinnati in the later rounds.
There is you can get that third receiver.
Yeah, I mean you can
in the draft, or you wait till free agency's wiped out and you still get a good receiver.
Yeah, and
you get like a Rashard Higgins, or you get like a Rashard Perriman or you know what I mean. There's plenty of receivers out there, and they're not getting paid for a reason. Yeah. You don't need to go spend $10-11 million on one of the top receivers when you have Tyler Boyd and you have T. Higgins. You just don't need to do it.
Somebody just asked to see me without a hat on to see my hair.
Who asked that?
That was Josh Cantrell. So if you're tuned in, we're rocking this shit out. Is that shit still recording up there? I don't know. We're rocking shit out with the mullet out here. You can't really see it because the background's black, but we are rolling in here. Sorry that I had to put the hat on. I need to get the top trend up a little bit. But
did you just let the mullet fucking swing live?
Dude, I will let the mullet fly live. Right here. Look at that shit, dude. I've been working hard on this shit. I'm going on a year. Can you believe that my girlfriend allowed me to get her pregnant again with this?
I can't believe you have a girlfriend.
I got a little girl on the way, by the way. That's happened since last time we were there. I got a little girl.
You have a girlfriend, let alone have sex. So.
Oh God. Well, my daughter's gonna have a dad with a badass mullet and a badass beard.
That's right.
So that's what's coming. Where were we at? Curtis Samuel. I think it would be cool, but I understand that you can get.
It's like somebody saying on here though, man. Like, who's that? Oh, Riggins. Need to load up on the line. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck everyone else. Like, fuck the defense. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying if they sign some linemen that are. The thing is, anybody is an upgrade over Mike Jordan. Anybody.
I cannot imagine that they're sitting there thinking like we can't overpay for these guys. Like that to me is insane.
How is that possible? How could that I don't know, man. $40-some million in cap space. You can fire Bobby Hart into the fucking sun and save yourself about $5 million. You can cut CJ Uzomah, save yourself $5 million. Now, right now.
Uzomah should be the number 2 tight end on that team.
At a $5 million cap hit, I might be like, fuck him, dude. Get me a lineman. I'm sorry.
I don't think he can do enough.
He's flashy. He'll have a good game here and there, and then he'll disappear for a couple games. $5 million you can save and help address your offensive line. Like, it can still be done. The line can still be significantly better than it was last year just by doing fucking anything.
I mean, just by forking out a little bit of money.
Dude, I'm telling you, I put you at left guard, and I feel better than Michael Jordan being there.
I could do it.
I think you probably could.
Yeah, I could do it.
Bobby Hart, get the fuck out of here. Charlie wants to know where the Pit Vipers are. Fucking Amazon's dragging their feet. They're not here yet, or I would have won. So we got all this shit going on. Meanwhile, Mike Brown, I had a tweet go viral.
Oh, yeah?
I said, Mike Brown's going to call Joe Tooney's agent when he figures out how to unlock his iPhone 4S. That son of a bitch went to the moon. It was, if you Googled Bengals, it was on the homepage and shit. I've been having a lot of fun on the internet. I work from home, got a lot of free time. All of this shit is going on. Bengals Twitter's having meltdowns and all of this shit. And it's just weird. Cleveland's just like, maybe that guy. Maybe the low-risk pass rusher. It sucks because usually I could be like, hey, at least we're not the Browns, right? I can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
the Browns are like one of the, they're there. So usually the Bengals be like, well, we suck. At least we're not the fucking Browns. Not anymore.
You gotta really tip your hat to a guy like Jimmy Haslam who, every year it didn't matter if it wasn't right. He didn't care if he was paying them money for 5 years. If it didn't work after a year, you had to go.
Fucking out of here.
You know what I mean? If you just wasn't the right piece or the right person, you just wasn't. So, and then you go and get Coach Kevin Stefanski, who was Coach of the Year, and totally I mean, look, I mean, dude, they got an identity. They get a defense.
Yeah,
They're going to be a threat. You know, and then you get guys that set the tone like Jarvis Landry, like Baker Mayfield. As much as people are going to hate on Baker Mayfield, there's one thing we can say about Baker Mayfield: he's a true leader.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Even if he's getting ahead at Cheesecake Factory.
He did get a little love behind the Cheesecake Factory, allegedly, potentially got topped up behind the Cheesecake Factory by not his wife.
I mean, he's Baker Mayfield.
I bet he could get a lot of shit done behind a Cheesecake Factory in Cleveland. But I mean, so we got all this movement going on in the league. What have your teams done? You know, nobody's really commented about what their team's done, but a lot of it are because they're fans of our teams that we're talking about. John Wick says the Chargers are protecting Herbert. They are.
We went and got
They
Lindsey from fucking
Green
Bay. That's
the
what
Bengals
you're
in on
supposed to
that.
do.
And then Rodney Hudson was supposed to get released from the Chargers or the Raiders.
Trade, yeah.
Ended up being a trade to the fucking Cardinals
For next to nothing, and the dude
for
was
pick swaps in later rounds. Why don't the
dude was a Pro Bowler.
Why don't the Bengals do that? Oh, they're offering you pick swaps in the 6th. What if we just give you a 5th rounder?
Yeah,
better.
It don't make sense, especially for a team that has a lot of money to spend.
We're fucked, man.
Like I said though, the moves that they've made, I like them.
Yeah, but they're not the moves that should be made. And I don't know who said this, but somebody said, "Hey, I like the signings. That's great. What's concerning me is where they seem to be putting their priorities."
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
The problem is my priority should not be Trey Hendrickson. Maybe your priority should be retaining Carl Lawson. That's fine. Keep your own guys, but nothing should be more of a priority than signing the offensive lineman. And we're all just sitting on our hands. And it's weird though, because a lot of these guys that are good are still out there. They're not getting scooped up super quick. You had your Toonies, of course. You knew he was going day one. Lindsley went. Now Hudson got traded for, but you still got. And Kelly was just yesterday, so you still got quality guys there. They're not signed for a reason, so maybe you just call them and make them not want to talk to somebody else. Excuse me.
And hey, I seen a tweet today, man. The Carolina Panthers are completely in on Deshaun Watson. Like apparently they're calling every day. The tweet said Deshaun Watson to the Panthers is the Panthers' priority 1, 2, and 3. Like,
damn.
Like they want Deshaun Watson bad.
Are they still willing to give up Christian McCaffrey for that?
Was that a real thing? I don't know, but I know we've seen that. Did you see the offer that the Bears made for Russell Wilson?
I follow a couple Bears guys from a different podcast network, and he said that the deal was like almost done.
Yeah.
Like Seattle.
Like 3 firsts, 2 good players.
This was all at Trey Lance's pro day, I think, at North Dakota State. Yeah. Was it 3 firsts?
3 firsts, 2
starters.
2 starters.
And then I think a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
That's a haul, dude. And they said it was
if they're not going to take that,
they're not taking nothing.
They're not. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. But these guys that I follow that seem to know their shit about the Bears said that deal was like almost done, and then at the last minute, Pete Carroll was like, "I can't do it."
Yeah.
If they're not going to take that, I
don't know if you can trade Russell Wilson, man.
I don't know, man.
You can trade Russell
3
Wilson.
firsts, 2 starters, and a 3rd for a guy that may not want to be there.
Yeah, I can't do it. If he says, "Hey, I'm going to play there," you got to keep Russell Wilson. He's a top 5 quarterback. It's like trading Deshaun Watson. Like if I was the Texans, I'm just going to let him sit out the year and not pay his ass if he don't want to show up. It's his money.
I mean, you could do that. You could definitely do that.
If not, this is the stand that these players are going to start taking. It's going to turn into the NBA.
Well, that's we're seeing that happen because these guys are signing these 5-year big time deals like Watson did, like Russ did, and then a couple years in, they're like, "No, fuck that, I want out of here." And that's typically not been a thing. It's typically been like, "I sign my contract, I stay here."
Right.
And now, is that NBA mentality coming in there? Because if it is, I don't personally like that for the NFL.
No,
I don't like that at all for the NFL.
I don't like it neither.
They got old Red pretty close. The Bears got Andy Dalton. The Red Rifle taken off there to Chicago. Right after I think they found out that they were not going to get Russell Wilson, they moved on to the Red Rifle. I thought AJ Green was going to go out there and reunite with him.
I like where AJ ended up though. I feel like that's a big spot, man. AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins. with Kyler.
Can you see it now? Kyler throws like a fucking 40-yarder right in the end zone. AJ Green comes down one hand, catches it. Tony Romo's like, God, just think about what JJ Watt did to get him there, guys. Fucking clown. They're gonna AJ's gonna catch his first touchdown in 6 decades or whatever, and they're gonna show JJ on the sideline just screaming at nothing. Fuck him too. March Madness is coming up. Duke sucks. Michigan's good. West Virginia's good.
Michigan's
Texas is
not
good.
as good anymore. They lost that. Fucking,
Isaiah Livers was bad for him.
Yeah, that they were going to be one of my teams to possibly win it, but losing him, there's no chance. It's gonna be. I got mark it down. Watch. It's gonna be Illinois.
Illinois is damn good, dude.
Yeah, they are.
Big Ten basketball is good this year. Illinois is good. Ohio State's good. Michigan's good. So there's a lot going on there, but man, it's really, really shitty when you have no Duke, no Carolina, no Kentucky, no UD.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of UD, did you see this shit with the security guard?
That is insane.
The security guard, it's got like 500,000 views on Twitter. Channel 7 here in Dayton's investigating the situation and all this shit.
That's just how it goes nowadays.
I know this guy I know the security guard my whole fucking life. My dad works security there. He was a cop with my dad. I've known this guy my whole fucking life. He's not headlocking videographers for no fucking reason. He told the guy 5 times. They're like, well, he had his media credentials. He did, but I don't think he was showing the right credentials to be on the floor because the COVID shit, they got it changed up. Certain people can be on the floor, certain people can't. He fucking right up under the neck.
Yeah,
so, fuck it.
It was just crazy in an empty arena.
He said he told the dude, like, hey, man, get off the court. You don't have the shit to be on the court. You don't have the shit to be on the court. And the guy hit him with the old fucking spin move, and he fucking got right up under the neck. But I just wanted to point that out. That's been going around the internet. I believe the security guard.
I'm usually so stoked for March Madness.
Dude, the first 4 in Dayton, usually my dad can sneak me in. I didn't say that if he's going to get in trouble. That was just a joke.
But I haven't been able to get into it.
It's not been the same.
The crowds at the crowds for college games just sets it apart.
The camera crazies.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a little harder to get into it when Duke sucks. And I haven't really agreed with a lot of Coach K's messaging this year. I think if the team's just not that good, just say that.
And then, on a positive note, though, UFC here in the next, what is it? I forget when. Is it April?
I think it's April 24th.
Masvidal versus Usman 2.
Going to be a badass fight.
But the best thing about it is fans, full capacity in Florida.
Dana White said, fill that motherfucker up. We're going to Jacksonville.
This pandemic, though, man, Dana White he just put his balls on the table, dude.
Boom, dude. And Jacksonville, you think Jacksonville gives a fuck about COVID? Nope. Jacksonville's like kind of gross, so they don't care.
I'm ready for next week, though.
What's next week? I don't even know.
Stipe versus Ngannou. Oh man, that card is fucking loaded.
Well, we going somewhere for that? We're going outside. What are we doing for that?
To figure something out, but yeah, I can't wait for that.
Abdullah's got to go. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. But yeah, Dana White. You got 40,000 people that can go to the ballpark in Texas for the Rangers when baseball comes around.
We're starting to open up, people.
Dana White said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to fill that joint up. I think 25,000 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Smaller arena, but he's like, fuck it, I'm filling it up. Ron DeSantis, big dick energy down there. Said, you're not shutting me down. I don't give a fuck. So we got that coming back. And, man, I personally don't really care to be around a lot of people and shit. I don't really care, but the crowd, when a guy just gets fucking knocked, it makes a difference.
It makes a difference in all these sports.
There have been,
the fans are definitely part of the sports, and it just makes it what it is.
With UFC, it's been sometimes it's been kind of cool because you can hear a little bit more, but it just doesn't beat the whole crowd yelling "oh shit" right at the same time because some guy's fucking eyeballs hanging out or something. So I think that there's going to be a good amount for that. Yeah, man, the UFC just been consistent.
Yeah,
right through this all.
They've helped us through this, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think that's about all we got in here. We'll probably be back in here a little bit more consistently now. Things have settled down. We got the draft coming up. All kinds of good stuff to get on with. I bought this camera. I started fucking around with stuff, so we'll see if we can do anything cool with it. Get at us on Twitter at LRT Uncut. He is at Penrod_LRT. I am at Drew_LRT. I talk shit on there pretty much all day. Like I said,
he does.
Got a lot of free time. So yeah, we'll be on there. We're going to be taking a look at all the latest moves that we have coming up. It's not over yet. I honestly, when we planned this live thing, I thought like our phones were going to be like boom, 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 boom. It looks like the Browns just got Garyon Conley though, from our buddy Austin. He said
Cornerback, Ohio State.
He said in our group chat, Garyon Conley coming home. So I'm assuming that means he's coming to the Browns.
Interesting.
So there is one, but I thought we were going to have like a little bit more of like shit breaking.
Still up there in on
just
the
kind
door,
of popping in. So as we came in, I thought there would be a little bit more. He says that's the rumor, so nothing true for sure on that yet. So yeah, there is a lot going on. I have just seen that there is a Bengals AJ Green tribute video. It is about 3 minutes long. Jake said play it. I might have to watch that one by myself. All right, it might be a little hard on me. I got to take a look at that. It looks like a thank you video from the Bengals on Twitter. So I'll probably watch that and be like, I'm not crying, fucking cutting onions in here. So we're gonna wrap this thing up. Thanks for everybody that tuned in live, commented on everything with us as we went along. This episode will be on the podcast platforms as well. We got the mics recording that, so it'll be posted as normal. We just thought we've been away for a little bit. We'll jump in, give you guys a chance to kind of get involved with the show live. So we had a lot of fun with it. We will be back in here. We will see you guys later. Locker Room Talk Uncut, and we are out of here. How do I stop this shit? There we go.